Hello students, till now I can see 8 people have joined. Join fast so that we can have our discussion today. Alright. So what we were discussing in our last session, let me have some idea so that I can also understand that you are doing your studies in your home. We were talking about the what? We were talking about cells, the unit of life, isn't it? Okay. So in that chapter, you already completed that chapter. So if you have any doubts, you can put your doubts there so that we can directly have a discussion on it. Otherwise, I can go for some questions or I can go for some other left out things that needed to be explained as well. Let me see what are the remaining things I need to say. Okay, so students, see, our chapter is more or less complete, but we'll have a discussion overall on the topic again, and we'll be concluding the chapter today. From the next time, from the next day, we'll be having discussion on another chapter or another topic. So last time we were talking about the different cell organelles in prokaryotic cell as well as in eukaryotic cell. As well as in case of eukaryotic cell, there are two type of cell present. That is, one is plant cell, another is animal cell. So plant cells have certain kind of cell organelles that are only found in plant cell, as well as animal cells have certain cell organelles exclusively found on animal cells and not on plant cells. Different characters, different functions of different cell organelles like plasma membrane, you can say, like plastid, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum. These things we have already discussed about. Now, sometimes this question comes like that: why vacuoles inside the plant cell are so much larger than vacuoles inside the animal cell? Clear? One question like that. Another thing is like, what is the function of cell wall present in plant cell? What is the function of cell wall? And write down the components of cell wall in plant cell. These kind of questions are very common. Why plants are so rigid? Why plants cannot move? This kind of questions also comes. And all of these things I have already discussed, I have already mentioned in my previous discussion with you. So till now, I'll keep submitting my classwork. Alright. If you have questions, put the questions in the comment section so that I can understand. Acha. So another thing that from now on we'll have a discussion on at which time we have class, and after that we'll start the classes, because these classes are purely voluntary class. We don't have to maintain a specific time for that. That's why I also ask you to make suitable times for yourself and tell me, let me know about that, so that we can have a class no one has problem with. All right. So next thing is, suppose you are told to draw a picture of plant cell as well as an animal cell in the examination. I hope you will be doing it very properly, and also in your homework assigned for the summer vacation, I have given you pictures of plant cell and animal cell. You will see it in your group. So these things are to be done by you, and if there are any confusions arising, you can always put your queries in the WhatsApp group as well. So let's talk about few left out things, like what are the functions of ribosome. Ribosome is also a cell organelle found both in plant cell and animal cell, as well as they are also found in bacterial type of cells. So Ribosomes are actually cell organelles. They are having uh, three or four subunits. What are subunits? Suppose a whole thing is made up of parts, so the subunits are parts of the whole thing. Now, the ribosome present in eukaryotic type of cell are 70s type. I hope you understand. Sorry, 80s type. The ribosome present in eukaryotic type of cell, they are of 80s type. 80s, clear? Now, what is the meaning of 80s? We will know about 80s type later when we'll be going in 11 12, not necessary in class 9. So, till now, just you have to remember the type of ribosome present in eukaryotic type of cell is of 80s type. Clear? Now moving to the prokaryotic type of ribosome. In prokaryotic cells or bacterial cells, we have ribosome as well, but they are of 70s type. That means there is a significant difference in the ribosome present in eukaryotic type of cell as well as in prokaryotic type of cell. Now, talking about plant cell and animal cell, there is a absence of multiple cell organelles. Like suppose plant cell have plastids in them, but animal cells don't. So there is one difference. Another difference is the animal cells consist of centrosome. Centrosome is a cell organelle that is only found in animal cell but not in plant cell. So there is another difference, you can say. And let's talk about the plasma membrane. What is the function of plasma membrane and how it does its job? Plasma membrane is a selectively permeable membrane. What is the meaning of selectively permeable membrane? That means that plasma membrane selectively lets components pass from one side to another. That means the plasma membrane present is actually able to select many things which are able to go from outer side to inside or from inside to outer side. The plasma membrane is made up of lipid. What is lipid? Lipids are nothing but fat molecules. Clear to everybody? Lipids are nothing but fat molecules. Clear? Now, these lipids actually also have proteins embedded inside the structure. What they have with them? They have proteins. What kind of proteins? Different type of proteins are there. Which proteins actually let other particles, other molecules like gaseous oxygen, gaseous carbon dioxide, water, food particle, and other excretory materials from passing from one section to another. That means either from outside to inside or from inside to outside. That is the job of the plasma membrane. Now let's move towards genes. What are genes? Let's talk about genes. Genes are the specific part of DNA that can actually give rise to a character. Now, what are characters? Suppose I have hair, my hair color is black. So, what is the reason I have black hair? Why I don't have green hair or violet hair or white hair? Because my genes present inside the cells of mine are commanding the cells to prepare black hair. Clear to everybody, I hope. If you are having a clear idea, then sometime give me some response like yes sir, so that I can understand. Okay. And another thing, the DNA, where the DNA is present inside a eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell has a big nucleus, we know, and inside the nucleus, in normal condition, chromatin fibers are present. Now, the chromatin fibers have a specific role. Chromatin fibers actually produce or prepare chromosomes during cell division. So inside the chromatin fiber, the DNA is present, and the functional part of DNA or very specific part of DNA which can produce a protein. The DNA, functional part of DNA, can actually produce a protein. Clear? Now that protein actually goes out from nucleus outside where? Outside cytoplasm. And after going to cytoplasm, what it will do? It will command the cell, because we know that nucleus is known as the brain of the cell. So in our case, what happens? Brain controls us. Whatever we do is because due to the commanding of brain says us to do that, that's why we do it. So in case of cell, the nucleus, after from DNA there is a protein secreted or a protein prepared. That protein goes outside to the cytoplasm, and in cytoplasm it gives an order to the cell to do something, do some specific work. That's why the cell does some specific work. The cells present on my scalp, of my head, their nucleus is commanding their cells to prepare black colored hair. That's why I have black colored hair. In case of other western countries, they are having white colored hair or pale hair, because their cells present on their scalp are actually commanding the other cells to produce white colored hair. That is the reason. Sometime you will see person having blue eyes or sometime green eyes as well. So that is also only expression of genes and nothing else. Genes are the things that are responsible for all the hereditary character or the characters found in a animal or a species. Clear to everybody, I hope. Now if you have any questions, any queries, you can put it here, and otherwise I'll move to the next point, next part. See, next time we'll be having a discussion on a different chapter. Let me see what are the remaining chapters. Okay, we'll probably start motion. Motion chapter we will start. And for your own sake, I ask you to go through the chapter, that is fundamental unit of life, cells, the fundamental unit of life again, so that no doubt is remaining. And I also ask you to go through the questions or the exercise in your book. If you have any problem solving any question, you can always ask me in the group so that I can help you. Also, another thing, after you finish the exercise question, I ask you to go for some higher questions. Where you can find the higher questions? In NCERT exemplar. You can always ask me to post the NCERT exemplar in your group. I have all the NCERT exemplar from all the chapters. These NCERT exemplar questions comes with solved answer, so you don't have to suffer for not finding any answer. All the answers are solved there. You can just see. If you can't answer, you can just go for the answers. Clear, you will get a clear idea, because the most vital questions in your examination actually comes from NCERT exemplar. So never underestimate it, and always do the NCERT exemplar question after you finish doing the exercise question from the chapter. All right. So this change is because of genes. What kind of change is because of gene? Whatever character we have, what are the characters? Suppose my eye color, suppose my hair color, my body color, these are my characters. Clear? Everybody has a some defined kind of character. So these characters, where it comes from? It comes from our genes. Everybody has their genes. Every individual cell have a nucleus, and the nucleus have chromatin fibers. Inside chromatin fiber there is DNA. Inside DNA there are specific parts which are responsible for preparing proteins. That proteins are actually able to command a cell to do certain kind of thing. So that's how genes work. We'll have details discussion on gene when you will be on class 10. All right, what is nuclear envelope? Nucleus has four parts, we already know. First thing is nuclear core, no, nuclear envelope. First thing is nuclear envelope. Second thing is nucleolus. Third thing is nucleoplasm. Fourth thing is nuclear, uh, what is called? Chromatin fibers. Clear. Fourth thing is chromatin fibers. So the nuclear membrane is a membrane. What kind of membrane? It is simply another type of plasma membrane, nothing. Clear. The plasma membrane that is surrounding the cell, also surrounding inside the nucleus. The nucleus is also covered by a plasma membrane. that is known as nuclear membrane. Now the plasma membrane has small pores on it that are known as nuclear pores. Through the nuclear pores, materials may get inside nucleus, material may get outside nucleus. Clear? So that is nuclear envelope, the envelope or the membrane which is actually covering up the whole nucleus. Now another thing comes, what is cytoplasm and what is protoplasm? Sometimes this difference is also given, differentiate between protoplasm and cytoplasm. So what are those two things? Cytoplasm is nothing but a jelly-like substance that is present inside the cell. The whole cell actually is consisting of cytoplasm. Now cytoplasm consists all the cell organelles. All the cell organelles has to be present in a aqueous type of medium. Clear? So the aqueous type of medium or the moist medium or the jelly-like substance is known as cytoplasm. Now when cytoplasm and nucleus are together, we call them protoplasm. So protoplasm, sorry. So protoplasm, if we remove nucleus from protoplasm, it will simply become cytoplasm. And if we add nucleus in cytoplasm, it will become protoplasm. That is all. Not hard at all. Clear? So that's all about today. And I miss a few things because getting disconnected from the live for a minute. Okay. What are your queries? You just put your queries. I'll try to solve them. Anyone else, if you have any queries, you can just put them here. I'll try to solve them. Otherwise, if you don't have queries, I'll put the call down for the day, and you will have the next class on probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll discuss it with you in your WhatsApp group. Okay, why the hair changes its color from black to white when you grow old? That is very good question. See, the body color or the hair color is due to a pigment. What is a pigment? Pigments are colors. So, in case of Indians or Eastern people or people living in Eastern lands, are having black colored hair because there is high amount of melanin in our skin. So the melanin is secreted by melanin secreting cells. There are cells, different type of cells which secrete melanin. So when we are young, the secretion of melanin is much higher. Clear? The secretion of melanin is much higher. That's why we are having black hair or darker skins. Now, when we grow older, what happens? The melanin secretion ratio comes down, and the cells secreting melanin cannot actually prepare that much of melanin and cannot secrete it. That's why gradually our hairs start to become pale or whitish. Now that's why the old people have white hair. Similarly, in case of Western people, like people in America or you can say United Kingdom or England, they have the cells. They do not actually secrete melanin or secrete very less amount of melanin from the very young age. This is one type of character of them. That's why they have a pale skin. They have their skin very white, whitish skin, and also their hairs are pale or white. That's all. All right. Any more questions? Till now, I can see no questions. So, I think I should conclude the session, right? All right, everybody, stay safe and keep a good health. Thank you for your time in YouTube, and we will meet again. All right.